Hello, all you hardcores out there. How are you doing? Russ here from Poker's Corner. I say the things on here that nobody dare say. Right, we're just waiting for Aaron to click on. I'm a minute early. I just want to give a big shout out to Human Nutrients. The link is pinned up in the comment section, and a big shout out to Spartan Demolition, who never seem to let me down, unlike other people in the boxing industry. But that's what you're up against, isn't it? Dealing with shithousers, charlatans, vagabonds, off with their heads. We have a lot to get through with Aaron. Uh, let's see what he's up to today. But just looking online, we've got the Kell Brook situation. What do people think about Kell Brook coming back after 4 years out? And Kid Galahad, he's been out a long time and he's trying to get on the same show. Do we need to keep seeing uh, this dug up knackers? They're digging Kell Brook up after all that time, and obviously Galahad trying to get him mix. I don't know what's the hardcore boxing fans' opinions. So here we go, Aaron. How you doing?
Ross, how we doing, pal?
All right, can you come a bit close to your mic? 'Cause I can't hear you, mate, and I've got volume full blast here.
How's that, mate? Is that any better?
That's a bit better. Uh,
Yeah.
I just want to get stuck into this. Kell Brook, been out 4 years, he's coming back. And Galahad's trying to get on the show. He's been out 3.5 years once they fight. And he's gone 2-3 in his last five. So, he's not doing so good, is he? And he's that's in the last 6.5 years. Galahad's had five fights. He's hardly Mr. Active, is he?
No, and he has had long periods out. Obviously, got that ban, didn't he? And
Can
he's
you
had
come a
other
bit
long
closer to
periods
your
out.
mic, Aaron, please? Can you come close to your mic, please, pal? 'Cause I can't hear you. Go on, yeah.
How's that, mate? Is that any better, mate?
That's a bit
Struggling
better.
here.
That's a lot better, mate. Go on.
Sorry, mate.
Go on.
Yeah, did you hear any of that? No. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
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 he's
go
had
on.
long periods out, hasn't he?
Well, I'll read it out to you, shall I? Right. It's Kid Galahad. He got, well, he got beat by Josh Warrington in 2019, yeah. Now he's looking to fight in the spring of 2026. So we're getting on for 7 years when he gets in the ring. And since that period of time, he's fought Claudio Marrero, Jazza Dickens, Martinez, an old fart, and Maxi Hughes, some guy who, you know, uh, when he first started out, people were saying he was a journeyman, but obviously he's done a bit better, hasn't he, Maxi, than most people thought. Uh, and Maxi obviously beat him, didn't he, Galahad? But he got Galahad at the right time, didn't he? Point I want to make is, do we need to see Kell Brook dug up and Galahad dug up? Is this what boxing's going to serve us now? Or is anybody going to pull these people about this and say, well, Kell, you've been out 4 years and Galahad's been out 3.5. Is this what we're up against now? And obviously on the back of the Donkey Derby at Sheffield.
Yeah, I don't think we need to see him again, mate. No, they've both achieved in game. They've both made a few quid. But then again, we're looking for these old nostalgia boxers, aren't we? Because no one's plugging the gap, mate. No one's plugging the gap whatsoever, as far as I can see. We're in dire straits.
Well, where's the next superstars? I thought Ben Whittaker was this big superstar.
Well, I think I've mentioned it to you last week. The way I see him going is, I think he'll end up boxing someone like a Jake Paul or a Tommy Fury. I don't think they're gonna. I think he's just a bit of a gimmick fighter again. I think he'll go down that route once it gets a bit tough for him. We've already seen him come up short against Liam Cameron, haven't we? Once.
Well, I remember what happened after that first Liam Cameron fight, and Eddie Hills was running around saying he had a lucky escape because he made a big hoo-ha about Ben Whittaker, didn't he, to sign him when he turned pro.
He did, yeah, and Ben turned him down, didn't he? Which upset Eddie, so he stuck it to him for a little bit. But now he's on, now he's team Matchroom, his best thing since sliced bread. But we don't forget, do we? We see everything, and we take a mental note of it, and we remember things like that. And Eddie seems to think we're all a bit stupid. I think.
Well, we all remember what he said. He don't like it when he's has it put on him. He's an on-top bully, Bellew as well. Now look at them; they've all changed the tunes, haven't they? Haven't they? They're all down there on their knees, noshing him off.
Yeah, exactly that, mate. And it's they're not going to do anything else, are they? I mean, they are scrambling for somebody to take the throne at Matchroom, aren't they? Somebody to take over AJ. And for me, Whittaker's just not that man. He's not likable enough. He's not. I don't think he's exciting enough in the ring. We saw last time out. He didn't do any of that flamboyant showboating, did he? He left that alone because he knew if he did that against Liam, he'd get dusted. So, has he already been found out? That's my feeling.
Well, we all remember. Well, this is sorry. I certainly remember because I have had emails from him. But listen, I never had a problem with Eddie Hills then, so I'm not going to tell tales. But what I will say is this: when Frampton went with Bricktop back in the day, that was the first chink I ever saw in Eddie Hills' armour. We all thought he was this untouchable guy. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you just come back in, yeah.
Yeah. Well, 2 seconds because I've just knocked this fucking microphone again. Uh, right.
I heard all of that, mate.
Sorry. Right. Are you done?
Yeah, go on, mate. Go on.
Right. When Carl Frampton didn't re-sign with him, Eddie had built shows in his head and around his team. How they do it at Matchroom, they're always working 18 months to 2 year down the line, which I think is good. I used to have big arguments with Big Ron about this. I says, we need to start planning routes for fighters, not just papering over cracks. But Dennis were always papering over cracks, and I can understand that if your shows are losing money. But Eddie had everything planned for Carl Frampton. When Carl Frampton signed with Bricktop, it pissed on his bonfire. That was the first time I ever saw a chink in his armour. And I think Eddie takes rejection really bad, and I think I won't be surprised if with Ben Whittaker we see him getting knocked about because he didn't sign with him in the first place because he's quite narcissistic, Eddie. And if you want to talk about that, we could talk about when Ricky Hatton was on his way to sign for his dad Barry, and Dennis said, "Well, look, and this is on my channel. If you turn around, I'll give you 300 in a carrier bag to sign with me, and you can put Matchroom on hold for 24 hours." That's what the Hattons did, and I don't think Matchroom ever forgot that, especially when they got hold of Campbell Hatton. I don't think they let bygones be bygones, and I think Ben Whittaker, I can see him getting knocked about. He rubs everybody up the wrong way. In my opinion, he reminds me of James DeGale when he turned pro, be the villain. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, it's similar, but I don't. I think with Whittaker, he knows what he's doing, whereas De Gale he kind of went, 360 and end, didn't he? And people start to like De Gale, but for me, De Gale was always a world level fighter who was always going to win a world title. He was a gold medalist. So in terms of in the ring, the miles apart. But yeah, I know what you're saying. Like with the attitude, the way he rubs people up the wrong way, as you said. He just doesn't come across as likable, Whittaker. There's nothing about him that you want to warm to. You don't want to see him do well, but at the same time, I don't particularly want to tune in to see him at all. It's not like a Naz where you wanted him to get splattered. I just don't care. There's not enough about him.
Yeah. Yeah, I see where you're coming from, but I personally don't think he's that good. And obviously, he beat Liam Cameron in rematch, but let's be honest, Liam didn't hardly train for it. He never had a bean in his life. He got a few quid off that first fight, and I think he just more or less were happy to be Mick. Just one of them turning up guys. Oh, I'm just happy to be here. And since then,
Yeah.
he's gone off at boy, Lanny. But people keep emailing me saying, "Oh, you've been harsh on Liam, this and that." So this is what I say to people, right? who was saying that I've been harsh on Liam Cameron in my videos, and Liam's back to his best and all that. Can somebody in the boxing industry tell me Liam Cameron's best fucking win? What is his best win as a pro? Well, then get back to me. Answers on a postcard, porkycorner@mail.com. Can you tell me his best win or what he's famous for? Now, he's 23, 7 and 1, right?
Would,
There's no
would it
contest.
would it
What's his
would
best
it be
win? Tell me.
Sheedy?
Sam Sheedy, right there you go, and he failed for cocaine after the fight. And if Sam
Yeah.
Sheedy hadn't retired, that'd be a no contest, like the one after the Genman one. Because don't forget, they were coming from super middle down to middle, for the Sheedy and the Genman fight. So you tell me what Liam Cameron's best win is and what is he famous for? Go on.
Well, I mean, now he's probably most famous for the first fight with Whittaker going over the rope, isn't he? But before that, it would have been the 4-year drug ban.
There you
Um, but with Liam, he's a blown up super middleweight, never mind light heavyweight. So, Whittaker had it all in his favour, and he couldn't do a thing about it in that first fight. And as you say, second fight, I feel like Liam Cameron just turned up, took his payday, and rode the script and got out of there and got his house bought. Do you know what I mean? Which fair enough in a way, but you've got to come in the ring if you're going to do what you say you're going to do and put it on him and beat him. Then turn up and actually try. So for me, he didn't try that second fight. He were a beaten man when he got in there.
When he turned pro, he were going to fight at 154, mate, right? That soon went out at window, didn't it? Everybody's an expert after the fight. But so to fight at one to be a 154 guy, right, and then getting on scales at 158 and three quarters, he never really got off to a good start anyway. Do you know what I mean? Fighting a guy 14 wins, 58 losses, that Matt Scriven, an absolute gimme fight. But it is what it is, obviously. They wanted him to go in at 154. Well, the kid that obviously were 164, but Liam's career should have been a light middle. Not middle, super middle. You don't just be a middle and then say I'm a super middle. I know, fair enough, he came in second fight at 156, but the plan were you're going to fight at a light middle, right? And they were going to be fighting people like Beefy Smith, chasing them guys down who he fought in amateurs, but it didn't happen for Liam. It didn't happen for him, and like I said, and when you can't even make weight or do your runs in the morning, it's over before it starts. I
Mm.
mean, even the middleweight fights, if you go through box rate, look at his middleweight fights. He's still coming in a couple of pound over on the middleweight fights. Do you know what I mean?
I think a good fight for Liam and another guy who's been in absolute wars, a bit like Sam Egginton, something like that. Do you know that'd be a good fight? It'd get people watching, it'd get them both a payday, and they're both they are what they are. The guys at a level tough, they'll go in have a go. I think that's a decent matchup, something like that for Liam Cameron. Then he can ride off into sunset. He's had a long time out, blown up in weight, coming back down. He ain't got longevity in his career, has he? But how old is he now, Liam?
Liam, he must be knocking on 30 fucking five or something, isn't he? Surely.
Yeah. One last big payday, in terms of his level, Egginson, something like that, maybe a Troy, someone like that. I don't know. That kind of level, I think.
He's coming up to 36, Liam, so it's over really for him now. It's just a case of him
Yeah.
trying to sell his name and being famous for being a drug ban fighter or a guy who had a draw with an Olympic silver medalist. Is that it? That's
Yeah.
what you're going to tell your grandkids? Well, I had a draw with an Olympic silver medalist. We fell out at ring, and there you go, Liam Cameron at the end. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think he's done well to get back in a ring. To be fair to him, and he's had a lot of issues outside at ring, obviously with his
And
sex
every
door, which is
boxer in the world,
horrendous.
come on, I don't want to
Yeah,
hear
yeah.
all this.
I'm not.
Every boxer's had problems. Everybody's from rough areas. They're not all born with a silver spoon. Everybody's got problems, haven't they, in life? And I don't want to hear all this, this and that. Are you a boxer? Get in shape. That's your job, to be in shape. If you're not in shape, piss off. That's what Dennis used to say. You can lose your rag with these people and putting your arm around and not putting your arm around them. He's a boxer, so he should be fit, shouldn't he?
Yeah, so I was just going to say that we've had all the tale about what happened in his life, etc. The ban, the horrendous stuff that's happened. But like you say, everyone's been through that. It is your job. If I don't go to work on a Monday morning, someone's going to ask why, aren't they? They don't care what's happened over the weekend. So we've all got a duty to provide for ourselves, the families, and do the
Yeah.
best we can. So you know, it is what it is, mate.
Boxers
Yeah,
play
I'd like to
victim for
see.
me too much, Aaron. They play the victim too much. And I'm fed up about it. Go and look what it says in the Green Book if you are a professional boxer. Your job is to be fit all year round. And they're telling us the stronger, faster, quicker than speeding bullets. And what they're doing, it's the same old people taking a piss from the penthouse and all the boxing fans after promising. Then they turn up fat as pigs like Rhino or Fury who wants to come back. He's on about coming back at 21 stone because he's going to need the power for Usyk. That's the word. It's
Mm,
unbelievable.
God. I seen a video of him yesterday training, and he looks massive, absolutely massive. He looks in the same kind of shape he got it ring against Nagano at, and it's just a tired old story, mate. We're sick of just get rid of him, get out of the sport. We don't want to see a third fight. The AJ Fury one, we mention it every time we're on. It's just round and round. It's just nonsense. I'm just tired of it, mate. We've got an heavyweight fight on weekend. Parker, we've seen a million times. He's not going to win a world title in my eyes. Wardley, I like Wardley. I want him to come through and I want him to do something. But heavyweight division at the minute is on. It stood still, isn't it? There's nothing happening.
If I say it stood still, I'm a hater though, aren't I?
That's true.
Yeah, do you know what film I had to sit and watch last night? Have you seen it? The War of the Roses. Have you seen that with Michael Douglas?
Well, it's not the Kell Brook Matthew Hatton then.
Not Kell, Matthew Hatton that didn't sell out when they get loads of tickets to Help for Heroes.
Yeah, I remember that one.
Uh, okay. Fury though, Usyk. Do we need to see a third one, Aaron? Yes or no?
No, it's
Don't do
a
it.
straightforward answer on that one, mate. No, job's done. Twice. How many more people does he have to beat? Two times. He's done it.
Yeah. What about Caballel? And what about other people who are wanting to get to Usyk and get his belts off him? And what about the commissions? Why are they not stripping Usyk if he's not taking his mandatories? And why can Fury just jump the queue if the money's right?
Well, it's purely that reason, the money. And I think Caballel is probably the only one at the minute, barring obviously a team who's not quite ready, is the only one I think can give Usyk, a decent fight, push him all the way. The only one I see at the minute.
Well, okay. So Usyk and Fury, it looks like Bricktops planting seeds in everybody's head because what they do in the last 72 hours, we've seen more permutations than an hairdresser's, haven't we, for fighters, right? Chizora's going to fight Zhang. He's going to fight Atoma. He wants Usyk. He wants Daniel Dubois, AJ. We've seen all that for him. We've seen Frank Sanchez thrown about for John Coffey. We've seen an Usyk trilogy. You name it, we've seen it in the last few days. Rhino's had about 20 names thrown at us and still not got one who he's going to fight next. Dylan White's name's it mixed for Chisora, but his name mixed for Rhino. So they're throwing everything out there to see what the fans are going to go, yeah, that's a good fight, that's a good fight, that's a good fight. And have you noticed how the general people in general are saying they don't want to see Usyk Fury again? Have you noticed that, Aaron?
Yeah, and I think, most people are tired now of going over the same ground. And like the coffee thing, he's apparently now injured, out of nowhere. He had a fight lined up, now he's injured. The December the 13th card, Frank Warren, where's the announcement on that? We're nearly there. It's going to be there and past us before we know it. We've got no announcement on that card whatsoever.
Well, I saw Parker's name apparently to fight Atoma if he beats Wardley in next couple of days. He's going to fight Atoma in December. Well, what do you think to that? I mean, Parker going from end of October to Atoma in December before he's even dealt with Wardley. That's a bit wishful thinking, isn't it?
Well, if he's got one eye on that fight and he's not taking Fabio Wardley seriously, mate, he's going to come unstuck. Because Fabio Wardley is an Iceman and he will be there until you put him out. People saying Parker's going to stop him. I just cannot see that. Beating up old men and guys have got off a sun lounger like Bacoli and Zhang, who's 48 million years old, Wilder, who's shot to bits. That for me doesn't sell that fight. That's not a pay-per-view fight because he's come off the back of them wins. He's been inactive as well for a long time, Parker. People don't realise that.
Listen, he's inactive, right? And since Joe Joyce absolutely flogged him, and everybody said his goose was cooked, he's come back. He's had a couple of journeyman. He's had a fat man in Bacoli taking it a day's notice. He's had two old men in Zhang and Wilder. And who else has he had?
Well, if you look a little bit further back when he's in his prime, he went, he struggled with Ruiz. I don't think he won that fight. He possibly got beat by you in a terrible fight. He struggled with White and got beat. I don't think he looked great against Chisora. As you say, Joyce has absolutely took his soul. So for me, it's a lot of chat, but no substance with Parker.
Well, I thought Huey beat him anyway. I thought Huey beat him.
I watched that. I watched that live, mate. I think I paid about £8 or something to watch it. I can't remember now on some stream. It was YouTube. It was streamed on, and it was absolutely terrible. And I never watch it ever again. So I can't remember, to be honest. I felt like Ewan might have nicked it, but it were a bad, bad fight. That.
Oh, the other guy he beat was Jack Massey, a cruiserweight, stepping up, and Jack Massey gave him all he got.
Yeah, yeah,
He stunk that.
100%.
He beat Bacoli 22 stone and eight or something. One. Bacoli, hang on, I'll work it out. Bacoli, £310. That's 22 stone 2, and then he's got to water up at night. So Bacoli got a shot at Parker's interim on the back of 2 days' notice. Zhang an old man, Wilder an old man, Jack Massey a small man, cruiserweight, and in between he's had that Opilu and Simon Keane. And there's your lot. Now he's up against Fabio Wardley, who's an absolute roadman with 72 rounds under his belt. Right, he's got 252 rounds under his belt, Parker. He's got miles on clock and he's an inactive fighter, but yet bookies have got him as an overwhelming favourite because he's with go to Andy Lee, who's famous for what? Being Tyson Fury's Klingon. I mean, let's talk proper here. He's a Tyson Fury Klingon, just like Joe Parker's a Tyson Fury Klingon, because they're hoping for crumbs to get on the shows. That's why they're hanging around with them.
Yeah, and like you say, Massey, he pushed him all the way. I thought that was really close, that fight, and that shows you the level of the guy. Massey's a decent British guy, isn't he?
All them people who keep texting me going, "Oh, he's Tyson Fury's cousin." Listen, they're all cousins to hear them talk. He's no relation. Show me something where he's a blood relation of Tyson Fury. Show me. Hey?
Oh, Andy Lee.
No relation, mate. Everybody's cousin, aren't they, when it suits them? Jesus. I don't put up with that nonsense, me. Not on here. Not on Porky's Watch, mate. Pop, pop, bang. Hey. Unbelievable.
Well, if you shared a pot of tea, say Jayla, you're related, aren't you? So it's a.
Oh, your son just go, this is my cousin, this is my brother-in-law. Right, let's have a look at this here, right? Listen, I'm not saying this is scraping barrel, but Chisora, White, Rhino. Who else would you throw in there? Huey. You could have a little round robin between them four, couldn't you? Really, for an IBO international bronze belt, couldn't you? Or an IBO continental fucking silver or something. What do you think? Do you know what I mean? It's where we're at now. We're fighters, because there's a few quid on offer. They just can't let it go, can they? And how on earth have we been drawn into a Chisora White pay-per-view on DAZN? How are we talking that, according to David Hay, which I won't believe him. I won't trust him as far as I can throw him, and that ain't very far. But I don't believe OT says. What do you think about that? White and Chisora free. Do we even need that fight?
Well, it's car park shenanigans, and it's car park fighting. That it's two guys absolutely shot to bits at end, and they've got nothing left. It's like Tommy Robinson, Rocky Balboa job, innit, in street. But I mean, we could have like a Super Six, couldn't we, with scrap heap challenges in this country, and we could call it the Duper Six because they keep duping everybody into buying tickets and paying for pay-per-view. So yeah, why don't we make the Duper Six and Chuck Adderley in there if you want as well, and I don't know who else is on scrap heap.
All right, let me read.
There's a
Let me
lot of
read you some of these out, Aaron. Before you start nattering, let me read you some of these out, and I want you to give me your opinion on these. This is the top 50 here, right? And I want you to say should retire or should hang in there, and tell me what level you think they're at. 50th on BoxRec, David Adderley.
British.
Right, British level, yeah.
Yeah,
Artem Suzlenkov.
couldn't tell you. Area.
Otto Wallin.
Area.
Area level Otto Wallin, yeah? Is that what you're going area level for Otto?
Yeah, I think he's shocking, mate. Couldn't beat a 48 million-year-old Chisora.
Okay.
Shocking.
Linnea Pirro.
I couldn't tell you. Area.
Tell me, okay. Gungav Hovhiskion.
Never heard of him.
Hemio Hio.
No idea.
Kingsley IB.
No.
It's Big Freeze, Fraser Clark, number 43.
British level,
British
potentially Euro.
Yeah. I think that about Fraser.
Yeah.
Potential. Number 42, Kem Lindquist.
Not a clue.
Joseph Goodall, 41.
Area.
All right. Stephen Shaw, 40.
No idea.
Wilder, 39. Area.
Yeah, it's hard to say, isn't it? Maybe British. You could knock someone out of British level, I think, still.
Jermaine Franklin Jr.
He's like a British level guy.
Dylan White.
Area.
Huey Fury.
British, but potential. But does he fight? That's the problem.
What if he gets his man strength?
Well, if he gets his man strength, super champion. But I don't think it's coming this time.
Umat Kamkarin.
Couldn't tell you, mate. Not heard of him.
Christian Prenger.
Area level.
Labinot Shojhai.
No clue.
Tony Yoka.
British, you'd say. Smash Dave Allen up. Yeah, British. If he's not juicing, maybe.
Hinaiba.
No idea.
Riyad Mary.
No.
Kevin Larena.
British, I'd say, Lorena.
Okay. Arslanbach Makhmadov, him who's just done the Lazy Rhino in the Donkey Derby.
British, I'd say.
Luis Ortiz.
Depends what he's like, really, doesn't it? He's over British. I think he could probably still mix it British, yeah.
Guido Vianello.
I like Villanello. I think he's Euro level fighter, yeah.
Juggernaut Joe Joyce, aka Slow Joe.
British area. Probably
Justin
area now.
Cooney.
I think Hooney's brilliant, skillful. Euro, I'd say.
Frank Sanchez.
Euro fringe world guy, Euro level.
Bakadir Jalalov.
Well, Sam Jones is saying he's going to be a killer, but at minute I'd say probably British Euro level.
Would you?
Yeah. I think he's all right. He's in that kind of company, I think.
Okay. Nelson Heiser.
I've not seen him fight. I've heard of him, but I've not seen him fight.
Okay, right. We're up to top 20 now. So just say,
yeah,
can they win a world title or they can't win a world title? Right.
Okay.
Nelson sorry. Moses Atoma.
Yeah, 100% win a world title.
Jared Anderson.
Yeah, he could. Yeah, he's got skills.
Zhang.
No, not now. He's too old.
Pulev.
No, far too old.
Riat Porte.
No, I don't think so.
Chisora.
No,
Salamov,
no,
Torres Jr.,
no.
Bacoli,
Not now, no, unless he's in shape. So
a
no.
Jagba. Stop with that in shape bollocks. He's never been in shape in his life. A Jagba.
No,
Right, top 10 here. Michael Hunter, number 10. Can he win a world title at heavyweight?
no. He could go close, but I don't think he can. No,
Ergovic.
no,
All right, Gassiev.
no, not for me. Maybe a regular.
Right, he's fighting Pulev if at regular.
Yeah, yeah. He'll win that definitely, but not a proper world title. No.
Tyson Fury.
Yeah,
Right, so that's one definite who can win a world title again, yeah? Wardley.
yeah. I think he can.
Lawrence Okoli.
Mm, Matched right, yes, but I'd say at the minute no.
Parker.
Again, matched right, possibly, but at the minute I'd say no.
John Coffey.
Yeah, coffee can.
Caballel.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely on that for me. He's avoided him, innit, since
He's
Bricktop's
brilliant.
can't get a fight, can he? And obviously Usyk's the daddy at the top. Nobody can make a move. We are him waiting, we're all waiting to see what he does, aren't they?
Yeah. I mean, realistically, as much as we love Usyk, there's no one left for him to beat, mate. Um, it, he's probably better just hanging him up and moving into movies or whatever, something like that, because he's achieved everything, Ante. He's brilliant.
Oh, tell me about it. It's he's done everything, Annie, that he could do, Annie. Really now, Usyk. Do you think?
Unless he wants to give the belts up and win them back again, just because he can, you know. Um, but yeah, I don't see anybody really, other than Caballel. What's the point? Other than that fight, it's just for money, isn't it? Other than that.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Moving on then. We've got 8 minutes left. Stomping Ground, Puppy Parsons channel. He's stuck it on the Lazy Rhino regarding Bricktop's comments, saying it's a donkey derby and AJ fight. What were Hearn coming out with and all that blah blah blah. You know the winner. Look, you remember a couple of weeks ago, and I said it looks like there's chinks in the armour between Matcham and Queensbury again because the money looks to be all a bit skew whiffed, doesn't it, with Turkey at the moment? And I've noticed certain people from certain promotional teams that have been licking each other's arseholes and blowing each other off for 2.5 years. Now all of a sudden they seem to be going back to how they used to be, don't they? Have you noticed, Aaron, lately?
Yeah, I have
There's a
noticed
little
that. Yeah.
bit. There's a little bit of intense beef, and with Puppy Parsons stirring it up, and oh, Bricktop said this about you, Rhino, and blah de blah. Do you feel that? And Rhino obviously going into bat for Eddie Hills when technically he couldn't stand sight of him for 6 years when he won't answer his phone. Now he's blowing Eddie off. He's come out, oh, Eddie this, Eddie that, and Frank should know better and all that. Can you see a bit of a cold war coming again now?
Yeah, possibly. I mean, the Riyadh season thing. I think Terry's touched on it, Ante. It seems to just not be there. They're not putting any money up. There's no big fights. There's nothing to introduce the Riyadh season really as such.
Yeah.
And it seems to me like they're falling back into the old ways. And Hearn and Frank are just throwing a few insults out there about each other's fighters. And yeah, I can see it going back to maybe not as bad as it was, but I can see there being a bit of a spat maybe down the line. And yeah, it's certainly heating up a bit, mate. Yeah.
Juggiers Oliver on Talksport said, and I quote, Anthony Joshua stops the traffic in Nigeria like Ali if he fights over there, like a Rumble in the Jungle too. Is he going
Mm.
to stop with his cheerleading, Juggies Oliver, or is he now that far out of control? He knows what he's doing and he's just playing the game just to keep his feet under the table, or does he just not give a shit about what goes on in boxing? Because all I'm seeing is him get down on his knees and gobble 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 gobble, slurp 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 slurp. What do you think?
Well, all I ever hear him come out with is how he's in this WhatsApp group with Anthony Joshua. So he must sit on the toilet, knocking one out, and reading messages or something like that. Because that's all he bangs on about, mate. Being in this chat group with Anthony Joshua and getting inside info. And We've seen what he's about. But does a man who puts Joe Weller on versus
KSI.
KSI, does he really care about boxing if he's doing that?
Yeah, just point out to people on here, all you CUNTs who kept abusing me when I blabbed that out a few years ago. I was the one that pushed him into coming out and admitting that because I got stuck into him on here. Otherwise, he wouldn't have admitted a skerrit about what were involved with that. And let me tell you this, they filled the boots, all of them on that. Oh, yeah, didn't they fill their boots? Let me tell you. And what did they say? Don't worry, it will all trickle down to the small hall shows. And did it trickle down to the small hall shows? All these KSI and Joe Weller and Logan Paul, Jake Paul fans. No, they did not, did they, Jug? Ears. So stop saying small hall is booming. It is not. You are a born liar and a fraudster. You're out to feather your nest like the rest of them in the sport of boxing. Okay, we'll finish off on this one then before I wrap it up. Fabio Wardley, Parker. Who have you got, Aaron? Can you go on record and say who have you got and why?
I am going for Fabio Wardley to stop him. Late rounds. I'm number 9. I'm thinking round 9 in my mind. I think Parker's inactive. I think he's overrated. I think there's a part of him that might be looking past Wardley, thinking he's just this blue collar guy, white collar fighter. So yeah, I've got Wardley winning that, and I think it might come for a little bit of stick early on, but I don't see Parker hurting him. I think he might weather the storm and then take him out.
Yeah, okay. Can I just ask you to comment on your "He's my friend" and your Fud Life uh, thumbnail there? It's not bad, that kid, is it? Pop, pop, bang on that one. Big fat John Fisher Senior. You big fat old toad. 4 hours in a cell in Australia at an airport. Do me a favour, mate. You'd be all right doing a proper sentence, you. You'd do a Bertie Smalls and everybody, you fat pig.
Gordon B. Smith now out prisoner cell block H, aren't they?
What, because he's done 4 hours in.
Yeah.
Wow, what does he think I had to do when I went to Big Ron's wedding and got arrested? Do you know what I mean? In 4 hours, how would he cope in cells on a weekend if they kept getting extensions? And you didn't police cells 5 days, he wouldn't be able to cope him. Did you see him in that interview? Ah! Big tough guy from Essex. Do me a favour.
Yeah, he's absolutely full of it, mate. I won't be surprised if they'd not set that up themselves to get out of doing a few of them shows because they haven't sold any tickets, and
Yeah.
then we'll use it to our advantage. Say you got locked up at customs and blah blah blah.
These
Tell
bees
you,
are
mate.
sorted, right? Are you telling me that they had their visa sorted and all signed? Does he think I had to deal with stuff like that? I was trying for 4 years to get to America. Do you know what I mean? I was devastated when I couldn't go to, see watch Frotch against Ward, in Atlantic City. But let me just say this, right? Let me just say this about this lot. If he had his visa all sorted and they turned him away and he's never been in trouble in his life, I don't believe that, mate. I believe what you've just said there. Nobody bought a ticket and they had to put him on plane back. Pop, pop, bang,
Yeah,
fat man. There you go. Right?
100%. He's already been over there doing shows, hasn't he? He knows crack. So it's just
Listen,
nonsense, mate. He's not sold a ticket. No chance.
well, he's interested in a big fat bloke there eating himself to death on TV, eh? And now he's advertising Frey Bentos, which is apparently the kiss of death according to dietitians. That's what they tell me. Frey Bentos is the kiss of death. It's as bad as a pizza. There you go. Promoting healthy food. If you want to look like me, eat this. You know what I mean? Okie dokie then. Well, listen, thanks for coming on, Aaron. It's been a pleasure. I'm going to get Big Sean on now. We're going to let Ring Ellis back tomorrow. And then we should be having Kent on at some point. All right, kid, you take care, Aaron.
Lovely stuff. Cheers, Ross. Thanks, mate.
Right.
See you later.
Right. That were Aaron from South Yorkshire. Nice to hear from him. Women love him. Men want to go out for a pint with him. That's about it, really. The link is pinned up in the comments section to my sponsors. One of them are coming out my heroes at the moment. And aren't they these sponsors? I must be doing something good, eh? What do you think? Go on, pop, pop, bang. Max! How are you? You all right there, Max? Go on, booyaka.